Alright, so this is my affordable house here. What I have. And then here is your Habitat for Humanity site plan. This is the site plan view where you can see your streets. And this already has all of your utility lines, your elevation lines on it, and everything that you need to understand where your building is going to go. Once you get the house on here, you're going to see how much space you have to work with. I think you're going to see you have a little bit more space than you probably expected to have. Let's take a look at this in 3D. So I can actually come here to my 3D view and zoom in, and I can actually see what this looks like in a 3D view here. And we're actually going to be able to go through this in Enscape then as well and check out, walk around our house, walk on our grounds, all that kind of stuff. There's a few things you're going to want to do after you get your house on. You're going to want to orient it the way you want it. And then you're going to want to deal with both landscaping and with changing the elevation of different portions of your land based on any berms that you want to include or any hills or valleys, or you needed to change the way that the water ran or anything like that. I'll show you how to do that as well. So let's assume we're going to leave this land as it is for now and come back to our site plan. And then we need to link our Revit file to this. Typically, Revit functions such that you only need one file. Okay, so typically, Revit functions so you only need to have one file. And I could actually create a site plan on this file, but sometimes, as I said before, you will be working in a situation where you've got one team working on the site plan and a different team working on the building. And then you bring the two things together at a later point. And that's where we're at here. We've had a team working on the site plan. It's been completed and handed off to us. They've been working on the changes from taking this site from a parking lot to a site that we can actually put a building on. And this is the finished version of that. They've handed it off to us and said, okay, here you guys go. It's not a parking lot anymore. Here's what you get. This is the finished site, as it will be where you put the house on it. And then we have to pick our house and plop it on the site. Here's how you do that. We start off with the site plan open. We have to actually make sure that our building is not open at the same time. And we're going to go to our Insert tab up here at the top. On the Insert tab, we are going to link a Revit file. The link word means what you think it would mean, where if you make changes to the linked file, it will update on the file it's linked to. So they are connected to each other. It's not just dumping the file in there and it just sits there. So it's link Revit. Then I have to find the Revit file that we're going to link. Get my house, open. Here's my linked house. So let's take a look at where it's at here on my 3D view. Oh, hey, it's not there. What do you think the problem is? Anybody have a guess? What's my problem? Where's my house? Which one do you think is the truth? Let's think through this logically. What is the level of, or what is the height of my floor level on my house? What is the height of the floor level of my house? 0 feet. If I come here to my site plan, what is the level of my site plan? 769 feet. So where is my house? 769 feet below. There my house is. So I have to click on it and use my up arrow key. And move it on up. Huh? It's moving up. It's moving on up. So the house functions as one component now here in my site plan. It's one thing that I can move around. I can't really edit the house when I'm here in the site plan. I have to open the house separately, edit it, come back in here, and then refresh the house link for it to change here in the site plan. Does that make sense? So I want to come in here nice and close, and I'm going to keep on using the arrow keys on my keyboard to get it to the level I want it to be. Now, I don't have a foundation on this house or a basement set up because I was lazy, but you will have one of those, and that will help you to level this out the way you want it to be. What I want is I want to not have my house floating in the air here, so I'm going to bring it down so that it's just in the ground a little bit there. I'm going to come around to each side and make sure it looks the way I want it to. And my porch is in the ground a little bit there. I'm actually going to leave that because I'm going to use that to show you how I can do some excavation and change the ground around it, because that's something you would do when putting a house in place. Okay, I'm going to leave that alone. I'm pretty happy with that. So now I'm going to come down on my top view. My arrow keys are relative to my view, and I'm going to move the house to this position, the location I said I was going to put it in on my drawing. The drawing you have in front of you, you drew the house. You told me where you were going to put it, right? Put it in that place. On mine, if I remember correctly, I decided that my driveway was going to come in off the back alley. So let's see here. I want my driveway to come into this back space here and have the entrance from the driveway actually come in off of this door here. So I'm going to leave my orientation as it is. I'm going to back the house up. More this way. And we're going to bring it over this direction like that. Leave the house back that way, leaving a fair bit of space, some buffer zone up here by my main road. So that was the decision I made when making this, so that I kind of leave some distance between me and the road noise. Okay, fairly happy with that. There's my little house. Make sure everything looks the way I want it to. And I'm fairly happy with that. And I actually smoothed out some of my issues with my front porch there too. Okay, that works. So now, that is linking the house, locating the house, and putting it where you want it to be. Any questions with linking the house and moving it around? Okay. Next video is going to be how to level your ground and add parking driveways, parking components, sidewalks, etc.